This, the language of deception, we both understand. We were born to it, along with the curses.
It's failure that gives you the proper perspective on success.
Caution not spirit, let it roam wild, for in that natural state dance embraces divine frequency. Life is a dream from which we all must wake before we can dream again.
Go to heaven for the climate and hell for the company.
There's only one day at a time here, then it's tonight, and then tomorrow will be today again. Being grateful does not mean that everything is necessarily good. It just means that you can accept it as a gift. I knew who I was this morning, but I've changed a few times since then. Aim for the moon. If you miss, you may hit a star. In order that all men may be taught to speak truth, it is necessary that all likewise should learn to hear it.
Many things are not as they seem. The worst things in life never are.
We must let go of the life we have planned, so as to accept the one that is waiting for us. Before you can successfully make friends with others, first you have to become your own friend. There is no dark side of the moon, really. As a matter of fact, it's all dark.
If everything seems under control, you're not going fast enough. People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day.
Night is a time of rigor, but also of mercy. There are truths which one can see only when it's dark.
Even the finest sword, plunged into salt water, will eventually rust.
Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. To have great pain is to have certainty. To hear that another person has pain is to have doubt. You can't cross the sea merely by standing and staring at the water. It amazed me how quickly a lie loses its power in the face of truth. Nothing is generous. New knowledge is a valuable commodity. The more truth we have to work with, the richer we are. I need to stop fantasizing about running away to some other life and start figuring out the one I have. Integrity is a powerful force, keeping you alive to others long after you've left their presence. Two things define you: your patience when you have nothing, and your attitude when you have everything. You're always with yourself, so you might as well enjoy the company. Don't ruin a good today by thinking about a bad yesterday. Let it go. Sometimes you need to burn bridges to stop yourself from crossing them again.
You can be anything you want in the world. Just don't become a prisoner of hatred.
Denying yourself a life of personal freedom is denying yourself of a life worth living.
There is nothing frightening in the dark if you just face it. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be.
Trustful people are the pure at heart, as they are moved by the zeal of their own trustworthiness. Whoever said that the past isn't dead had it backward. It's the future that's already dead, already played out.
Aslan, you doubt your value. Don't run from who you are.
Maybe the truth is, I really want to like you instead.
Being unconquerable lies with yourself. Being conquerable lies with your enemy. Without local guides, your enemy employs the land as a weapon against you.
Becoming well known is the most valuable element in the connection process.
Settle one difficulty, and you keep 100 away. Anyone who does anything creative is always going to want to change.
If you're still breathing, maybe it is not such a bad day after all.
Sometimes things become possible if we want them bad enough.
Faith and reason are like two wings of the human spirit, by which it soars to the truth. Be selfish with your time. A lot of people don't deserve it. If you try to change it, you will ruin it. Try to hold it, and you will lose it. The future is something which everyone reaches at the rate of 60 minutes an hour. Whatever he does, whoever he is.
We all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us.
Feel free to argue with the man with a gun. Only make sure there are no bullets in it. Truth strikes us from behind and in the dark, as well as from before and in broad daylight. Help others without any reason, and give without the expectation of receiving anything in return. There can be glory in failure and despair in success. Guilt is a feeling that you owe a debt that you're not paying.
Do not take life too seriously. You will never get out of it alive.
All human beings should try to learn before they die what they are running from, and to and why. You've never lived what you are thinking, and that isn't good. Only the ideas we actually live are of any value.
If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. Challenges in life can either enrich you or poison you. You are the one who decides.
Never let doubt guide your life's compass. As shadows fade once hope is found. It's a sad day when you find out that it's not accident or time or fortune, but just yourself that kept things from you. Never stop fighting, never stop dreaming. The healing man left me a wee bit broken so I could understand. Be with someone who inspires you and makes you be the best version of yourself.
For we can only know that we know nothing, and a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Those who look for the bad in people will surely find it. Great results can be achieved with small forces. Thinking something does not make it true. Wanting something does not make it real.
Just because people run after you doesn't mean they can't stay away from you. Don't take anyone for granted.
At some point, we all look up and realize we are lost in a maze. You get what you focus on, so focus on what you want. Whatever you believe with feeling becomes your reality. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream.
The most powerful relationship you will ever have is the relationship with yourself. Whoever said money can't buy happiness didn't know where to go shopping.
Home is where somebody notices when you are no longer there.
Everything you'll ever need to know is within you. The secrets of the universe are imprinted on the cells of your body. He must be very ignorant. He answers every question he is asked. Even though our time in this life is temporary, if we live well enough, our legacy will last. Gotta keep my head above water. Gotta make it through. When the world throws rocks at you, turn them into diamonds. Before something great happens, everything falls apart. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. The results of knowledge without application results in nothing at all. Do what you know better to do.
I never trust frank and simple people whose stories hold together. Judging is the cause that creates the effect of choosing. Make your lives a masterpiece. You only get one canvas.
Don't part with your illusions. When they are gone, you may still exist, but you have ceased to live. Religious structure often dilutes the spiritual experience. Every man had his personal habits, passions, and impulses toward goodness, beauty, and truth. This life is not a movie, and sometimes I forget that.
Be patient when becoming someone you haven't been before.
An empowered life begins with serious personal questions about oneself. Those answers bear the seeds of success. Persistence is the quality of winners. Successful people never give up. I have learned now that while those who speak about one's miseries usually hurt, those who keep silence hurt more. The evolution revolution is here. Global sense makes common sense.
If you follow the enemy's shifts and changes, you can always find a way to win.
I know because I read. Your mind is not a cage, it's a garden, and it requires cultivating. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. Don't waste your energy trying to change opinions. Do your thing and don't care if they like it. You couldn't erase everything that caused you pain with recollection. Every memory was valuable, even the bad ones.
Watching my back is the perfect opportunity to stick a knife in it.
One little ray of sunlight can do wonders in our life. The true test of a man's character is what he does when no one is watching. The worst decisions in life we make are always the one we make out of fear. Small shifts in your thinking and small changes in your energy can lead to massive alterations of your end result.
The truth doesn't cost anything, but a lie could cost you everything.
Discipline your mind to see the good in every situation and look on the best side of every event. Ordinary people merely think how they shall spend their time. A man of talent tries to use it. What doesn't quicken dies. That's an indisputable truth of life.
Between living and dreaming, there is a third thing. Guess it.
Wisdom is having things right in your life and knowing why. You are a wonderful creation. You know more than you think you know, just as you know less than you want to know. The goal shouldn't be to make the perfect decision every time, but to make less bad decisions than everyone else.
The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. We live only now. Everything else is either past or is unknown.
Where wisdom reigns, there is no conflict between thinking and feeling. Es ist nicht genug zu wissen, man muss auch anwenden. Es ist nicht genug zu wollen, man muss auch tun. They lived like monkeys still, while their new god powers lay around them in the weeds. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. Take a deep breath. It's just a bad day, not a bad life. Avoid the inelegance of assumption, the astigmatism of disregard. Free your thoughts. Life belongs to the living, and he who lives must be prepared for changes. Stay away from those who want you to be in the same predicament as them. I can't understand why people are frightened of new ideas. I'm frightened of the old ones. You cannot change the direction of the wind, but you can adjust your sails to reach your destination.
He who is not satisfied with a little is satisfied with nothing.
The moment you make someone promise anything is the same moment you ask them to lie to you.
Our fingerprints don't fade from the lives we've touched. Where you are in a few months depends on what you do today. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. Face your life, its pain, its pleasure. Leave no path untaken.
Art and life are subjective. Not everybody's going to dig what I dig, but I reserve the right to dig it.
You talk when you cease to be at peace with your thoughts. If I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. The superior man thinks always of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort. In every walk with nature, one receives far more than he seeks.
Every person has a right to risk their own life for the preservation of it. For it is scars that show us where we've been. Let them not dictate where we are going. When we stop fighting against death, we are able to wake up to our lives. What the mind can conceive and believe, and the heart desire, you can achieve. Where there is anger, there is always pain underneath. The deeds you do may be the only sermon some persons will hear today. One day can change your life, one day can ruin your life. All life is 3 or 4 big days that change everything.
Do it now. Sometimes later becomes never.
Anyone who isn't embarrassed of who they were last year probably isn't learning enough.
And regulation entails organizational effectiveness, a chain of command, and a structure for logistical support.
Trees that are slow to grow bear the best fruit. Sometimes it's better to stop trying to make sense of things. Life isn't clear-cut. There are always gray areas.
Always blow your own trumpet. Blowing someone else's is unhygienic. Everything takes time. Bees have to move very fast to stay still.
For a day, just for one day, talk about that which disturbs no one, and bring some peace into your beautiful eyes. Never apologize for showing your feelings. When you do, you are apologizing for the truth.
Being born is like being kidnapped, and then sold into slavery.
The truth is messy. It's raw and uncomfortable. You can't blame people for preferring lies.
Failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor.
The road to enlightenment is long and difficult, and you should try not to forget snacks and magazines. Maybe it was wrong or maybe impossible, but I wanted the truth to be one thing, one solid thing. If your dreams are too hard to achieve, just achieve. Normal is an illusion. What is normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. Never do anything that you can't admit doing, because if you are that ashamed of whatever it is, it's probably wrong. Summer is for surrendering. Winter is for wondering.
Politics determines who has the power, not who has the truth. I shall allow no man to belittle my soul by making me hate him. He who is prudent and lies in wait for an enemy who is not will be victorious.
Luck is a word used to describe the success of people you don't like.
Success is a flower that doesn't grow in everyone's garden.
Fairness does not mean everyone gets the same. Fairness means everyone gets what they need. I was within and without, simultaneously enchanted and repelled by the inexhaustible variety of life. You get in life what you have the courage to ask for.
Do not look for healing at the feet of those who broke you. Sometimes life is too hard to be alone, and sometimes life is too good to be alone.
Always find opportunities to make someone smile and to offer random acts of kindness in everyday life. It is amazing how complete is the delusion that beauty is goodness.
He who pursues fame at the risk of losing his self is not a scholar.
If you're not failing every now and again, it's a sign you're not doing anything very innovative. The bounties of space, of infinite outwardness were 3: empty heroics, low comedy, and pointless death. The heart is the toughest part of the body. Tenderness is in the hands. No matter how smart we may think we are, no matter how committed we are to our truth, we can lose our way.
Know what you want, work to get it, then value it once you have it.
Life's under no obligation to give us what we expect. Even if there's a small lie in the truth you're telling, it will make the truth questionable. We are supposed to call poison medicine, and we wonder why we're always sick.
Even though the ship may go down, the journey goes on. As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across.
Entertainment is temporary happiness, but the real happiness is permanent entertainment.
If you don't build your own dream, someone will hire you to build theirs.
Never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat. What you believe you can receive, if you doubt it, you will do without it.
I should have based my judgment upon deeds and not words.
Despite how entertaining certain stories were, at the bottom of every item of gossip, there was someone getting hurt. He will essentially follow the language of the spectacle, for it is the only one he is familiar with. Some beautiful paths can't be discovered without getting lost.
If something is important, it deserves to be experienced deeply.
The level of success you achieve will be in direct proportion to the depth of your commitment. Hearts are breakable, Isabel said, and I think even when you heal, you're never what you were before. In order to move on, you must understand why you felt what you did, and why you no longer need to feel it.
Until you have suffered much in your heart, you cannot learn humility.
Subjectivity is strange to science, while relativity is an objective part of it. Listening stops with the ears, the mind stops with recognition, but spirit is empty and waits on all things. Some stories wait their turn to be told, others just tap you on the shoulder and insist you tell them. There are ships sailing to many ports, but not a single one goes where life is not painful.
Yesterday is not ours to recover, but tomorrow is ours to win or lose.
Tragedy and adversary are the stones we sharpen our swords against, so we can fight new battles. Flaming enthusiasm, backed by horse sense and persistence, is the quality that most frequently makes for success. One truth doesn't refute another. Truth doesn't lie in the object, but in how we see it.
Life is all about becoming a better version of yourself.
The world is a tragedy to those who feel, but a comedy to those who think.
Sound intelligence promises victory in every battle.
If it didn't come with being humiliated, it wouldn't be my life at all. Until justice rolls down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. No boat moves an inch if the sailor has not will to paddle.
When your opponent gives you an opening, be swift as a hare. Remember to be kind with your words, especially to yourself.
To escape fear, you have to go through it, not around. It is safer to search in the maze than to remain in a cheeseless situation. No life is a waste, the blue man said. The only time we waste is the time we spend thinking we're alone. I'll be happy if running and I can grow old together. Stop telling people everything. Facing it, always facing it, that's the way to get through. Face it. Integrity is doing what is right and truthful, and doing as you say you would do.
Failure is not when you fail once, but when you refuse to learn from your mistake.
Enjoy the little things, for one day you may look back and realize they were the big things. As a leader, you're not paid to make decisions. You're paid to get results from decisions. Loneliness and the feeling of being unwanted is the most terrible poverty. War is not just the shower of bullets and bombs from both sides. It is also the shower of blood and bones on both sides. The heart makes its choices without weighing the consequences. It doesn't look ahead to the lonely nights that follow. The certainty about the uncertain is that it will remain uncertain till the time it's certain.
Be grateful for what you already have while you pursue what you want. I am the shore and the ocean, awaiting myself on both sides.
Bring forward what is true. Write it so that it's clear. Defend it to your last breath. Even a snail will eventually reach its destination.
The greatest step towards a life of simplicity is to learn to let go. There is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare. So long as you fight the darkness, you stand in the light.
I want to keep my dreams, even bad ones, because without them I might have nothing all night long.
It's not the men in your life that matters. It's the life in your men. To succeed in life, you need 3 things: a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone.
Knowledge planted in truth grows in truth. Strength born of peace loses nothing to hate. The more you feed your mind with positive thoughts, the more you can attract great things into your life. Give me the facts, and I will determine my own truths.
And if my heart be scarred and burned, the safer I for all I learned.
It takes no more time to see the good side of life than to see the bad. To buy a cake, to howl at the moon, to know true happiness, I am happy. The path to success is to take massive, determined action. Like a running blaze on a plain, like a flash of lightning in the clouds, we live in the flicker.
They can't tell so much about you if you got your eyes closed. The trouble is, you can shut your eyes, but you can't shut your mind. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself.
It is more shameful to distrust our friends than to be deceived by them.
And there are really never endings, happy or otherwise.
I'm a success today because I had a friend who believed in me, and I didn't have the heart to let him down. The truth doesn't always set you free. People prefer to believe prettier, neatly wrapped lies.
Victory is reserved for those who are willing to pay its price.
You are confined only by the walls you build yourself. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. I was lost yesterday, I am found today, and I will be forgotten tomorrow.
Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value.
The only part of you that hurts when you're given the truth is the part that lives on lies.
The best knowledge is knowing yourself and your inner being.
The man who has some respect for his person, keeps his carcass out of sight, hides himself as perfectly as he can. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Wanting to be someone else is a waste of who you are. But please remember, this is only a work of fiction. The truth, as always, will be far stranger. Life is pain, Highness. Anyone who says differently is selling something. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. If it's going to be a world with no time for sentiment, it's not a world that I want to live in. A desire not to butt into other people's business is at least 80% of all human wisdom. Don't think about the possibilities of failing. Never forget to think about the possibilities of flying. You need to find a way to live your life that it doesn't make a mockery of your values. No matter what you do, someone always knew you would. I have a deeply hidden and inarticulate desire for something beyond the daily life. Watch for the thing that will show itself to you, because that thing, when you find it, will be your future. My one regret in life is that I am not someone else.
You endure what is unbearable, and you bear it. That is all.
The past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. The past is a place of learning, not a place of living.